All right, where we go, Joe?
And he's not here.
Joe's not here again. What
What's
happened
up,
with
everybody? Well, since our host isn't here, we are having a Tipsy Friday because the work week sucks. And we're here to review pretty much what we have for a second. She's taking me, okay. Pretty much what we have for free agency. Because let's face it, the NFL has taken over the airwaves. No other sport right now matters. And the NFL has proven once again that it is probably the best daytime drama on TV. Paul, thoughts?
It's gonna be spicy tonight. I'll just say that it's gonna be spicy. So, yeah. Again, I'm becoming with the hot take, and people aren't gonna like me, but it is what it is. It's just how I be. It's how I do. A big surprise twist today, as you can see from the man in the back behind me, on how things turned out. There's a lot of details we're gonna pour in about it on how this actually happened and how it came to be. Is in case you're not aware of what happened and how it came to be, because there's a lot. We were going through all the details for the last couple of days. I'm like, who's in, who's out, who's still there. The biggest one I kept asking is like, what is going to be given up for this man, for every team? And there was a lot. And when this happened, we were all shocked because shit came out of the left ball field. Like, we literally weren't expecting it at all. So, yeah.
This man, I guess, you know what? While Joe's getting everything situated, let's get into it, Mr. Paulinho. Mr. I would say Mr. 2%. I don't know. For 2%, 10%, I don't know where you're at right now.
I don't know, because I keep telling Joe every time he calls for tech support, that's another 5% per ticket that he calls me in.
Yo, so, I literally, you guys are the worst. You guys don't listen. You guys don't listen at all. Oh my gosh. Just get over my show. Man, chill out, heel heat. Sick of y'all.
Hey, we down by one, so you're lucky.
Yeah, you dang right.
It's too sweet out here, bro. It's still too sweet out here, bro.
All right. Did you even do a proper intro? Probably didn't even do a proper intro.
Well, because I was waiting for you, and then you just dropped.
Bro. I just call a commentary. I don't host shows.
I just call the commentary. Ridiculous.
Listen, I'm your Pat McAfee. I'm your Corey Graves. I don't do Michael Cole's job. That's on Paul. That's on Benny. I'm not debonair enough for that, sir.
Oh my
I'm
gosh.
here for the keg stands and the Austin 316. Pass me a couple of beers.
What's wrong with you? The nosebleed section. My gosh.
Jesus. Who you think causes the nosebleed?
I'm the host, as always. Jesus Christ, Mr. Anderson. As my nickname, AK Mr. 98%, because I'm taking all my percent back from Paul. Because Paul don't listen for nobody. Paul's trying to take over. The inmates are trying to run the asylum. And I don't like that. Listen, we're back with a Friday.
Been running the asylum. What you talking about? How can you
yes. The three of y'all really have. Like,
bro, how do you expect your connection drops,
trying to
bro?
rein y'all in.
Listen, bro, who got the most content on the page? I'll wait.
The most. The most?
The most.
Sure. You can have the quantity. I have the quality. I'll take the quality.
It's the only reason why you got the quality because you just share it to one singular group. You share your news and your news only.
That's
you
a
don't
lie.
share nobody else's
group. That's a lie. Anyway, we're not talking about that. Friday free agency frenzy. This week has been ridiculous with all the free agency that's going on. Let's get into it. Of course, we all saw the Devontae Adams news last night. We saw the Deshaun Watson news, which Paul has this take he's going to drop on the city of Cleveland, and I know we're probably going to have a lot of haters for that. He just muted himself. He's prepping for it. He's ready. Paul, it's Friday. He's had a couple of drinks probably. He's feeling good. You might do this sober. If Paul does this sober, that's even worse for the city of Cleveland.
Yep.
I'm sober. I'm sober. Spicy. If I had to tell her something, it might be spicier.
We're going to talk about our teams. Obviously, I'm a Giants fan. Jay and Paul are Jets fans. Our other guy, Benji, couldn't be here. Giants fan too, but we'll talk about them, some of the other moves. But yeah, I think the first move that I really want to touch on that was really big was the Von Miller. I want to touch on that. I want to talk about that one because there's some people still out there. We were talking about before we got on. Terran Armstead's still out there. Bobby Wagner's still out there. Tyrann Mathieu still out there. Stephon Gilmore's still out there. There's some names out there. They're going to command some pretty big money. I don't know. I really don't know where Terran Armstead is going to fall. I hope it's not the NFC East because I'm a Giants fan. But and I'm pretty sure they won't hope it's the AFC East unless it's to the Jets, which I probably won't be. I don't know. Maybe it is. But there's so many people that are still out there. And these next couple days and everything headed to the draft is going to be ridiculous. But well, like I said, one of the main ones that I really want to touch on first is the Von Miller news. Like going to the Bills, like I was just like,
I'm stressed.
I know how he. I can only imagine.
Literally, I had to walk out of the room. Like I was emotionally scarred. I felt like the Asian dude. That's emotional damage. Like you can't be serious, bro. Like this man it's like freaking. It's like, bro. It's like you're the Avengers and you're finally starting to get your crew together, and this nigga just grabs the space stone. Like, nah, you good, bro? We got the gauntlet. Like. How much more help does this man Josh Allen need, bro? Like, how much more help does this man need? Like, come on, man. 5 years. First off, where you get 5 years, $120 million from?
6 years.
6 years. One, who gets 6 years anymore? Who does this? Who does this?
Here's the thing.
And then you go from LA to Buffalo, and this man says, "Oh, it's because of the locker room."
Wait, but here's the thing.
Blink twice if you in the sunken place, Vaughn. Blink twice.
This is why I'm not. It caught me by surprise. What caught me by surprise is Buffalo giving him a 6-year contract. The reason why Von Miller's 32. How much does he have left to play?
They can't draft pass rushers worth the damn, so they might as well go pay one.
Oh, I don't agree with that one.
So, I mean, I want to see what he brings in the next 2 years.
You can't say that. Epinesa and Russo had good years up there.
They had decent years, but they're more interior rushers. I'm talking about like edge rushers.
They're both
I'm talking
ends.
about like, listen, they're both
ends.
They're more so interior pass rushers. I'm sorry. Like, they're not getting nobody off the edge and getting to the QB.
Not.
No, I thought he was interior.
Greg Russo's an edge. So is AJ Epinesa. They're both edges. I can believe they because you saw highlights. They both were moved inside. Justin took the same thing for the Giants.
I didn't just see highlights. I watched them play. I watched those games.
Yes. We did. We all did. I get it. They're both edges. They all just move around. They all just move around. Now you look at the Bills now. You got Epinesa.
I'm just like, at this point, we might as well just draft Icky because we're gonna have to run like we're gonna have to run like jumbo packages along with the 2 tight ends staying inside just to like and just bully on people.
You got a Russo, you got Oliver, you got I think they just signed Harrison Phillips. I think or did he leave? Something like that. And I think we have Von Miller. Like they still have Edmonds in the middle taking blitz. Like that Bills front seven is going to be disgusting. If you can't,
but that's the thing I'm trying to say though. Is like I said last year about Julio Jones. Once you get to a certain age, you just never know. Von Miller's 32. So
yeah, but did you see what Von was doing this whole postseason?
I get it. I'm not taking that away from him. I'm not taking it away from him. That's what I'm saying. That's why I said I want to see him. That's why I said I want to see how he does this year and next year. These 2 years are important because it's a 6-year contract. You know, and, the thing is how much is guaranteed and how much of money you get up front.
I'm pretty sure there's gonna be some type of this is a year they can get out of it.
Harrison Phillips signed with the Vikings.
Okay, so he left. I was trying to remember if he went to the Bills or he left. Okay, so the only thing that they really need, they need a tackle opposite of Ed Oliver because he moved on to the Vikings and they cut Star Two away. So they need a D tackle opposite of Ed Oliver.
He's sitting there at 22. I think that's what the plan is. They sitting there at 22, 23, something like that.
Dumbass.
You
We
know
were
what
talking-
D-tackle gonna drop.
Well, we were talking about this before we got on live. Was
You think
with this
it's
trade,
gonna happen?
with this trade,
You think that's gonna happen?
What, a D-tackle's gonna drop to them?
No, I'm saying who do you think? Which not Jordan Davis.
I don't think Jordan Davis falls to them, but I think Wyatt.
Nah.
I think Wyatt will be there from Georgia.
wait,
I think
what
Wyatt
draft pick did I have?
Devontae Wyatt.
In the 20s. You sure?
I think that's.
I think after his combine, absolutely. And then it also, because again, you have to look at what the Bills, they're either going to take that or they're going to take a linebacker. Like they don't need, or what, they're going to take a slot because Cole Beasley's gone.
No.
That's what I'm saying. Like what are they going to take
Shoot,
there?
I mean,
Realistically.
give him freaking Chris Olave and watch out. That offense is just as good.
Yeah. Well, I've seen Chris Olave, I've seen Drake London, I've seen a receiver there for sure. But
I I get that. You can go back and get a Perion Winfrey or somebody else.
yeah, exactly. That's what I'm
and
saying.
not miss a beat. So I get it.
So that's what I'm saying. And again, guys like Devontae Wyatt and Perion Winfrey definitely, they if they took them in the first round, like, we wouldn't be that surprised. It wouldn't be a shock because of the way that they've played in the Senior Bowl and the way that they've tested. That's what I'm saying. Like, it makes sense for them to get rid of an interior guy and cut an interior guy because of the depth in this draft. Like, it makes it a lot easier.
Well,
I see
what
his
are you showing this picture of Von
That's
Miller?
Von Miller. I see his pictures. Like, I feel like Trinidad James. Pop a Molly, I'm sweating.
Oh, no.
Oh no!
What?
Heel Heat news. Breaking news. Cody Rhodes has signed with WWE.
Oh, yeah, I saw that.
They made it official.
Yep.
They made it official now.
Isn't that man like a founder of AEW?
Yeah.
Yep.
So the thing is with AEW, the contracts, they just
How-
let his expire.
Yep.
But he's a founder of the brand.
There have been issues from what we've been hearing in the back locker room and in the back offices with him and a bunch of people, him and his wife and other people around. So they was just like, they just amicably split after his contract expired.
Pretty much word on the block is he didn't have enough creative control, and he didn't like the fact that he didn't have a lot of creative control and booking control. So he's like, you know what? If I can't book what I want to book, I might as well go to a place where I'm going to make my money and not be booked the way I want to be booked. So he's like, if I'm not going to get booked right, I might as well just make more money.
Little man trying to book himself to win titles. Like, what do you, I don't.
Well, again, he already booked himself into a corner where he can never get the AEW title. So his ceiling was capped pretty much.
Yeah.
As like either he was going to be a Vince McMahon figure or he was going to just chill in the mid card and be like an enhancement. He's going to be Dolph Ziggler. So might as well go to WWE and just have a couple of really good matches, kind of rub that Stardom lust off of him.
And the thing was that he didn't want to be a heel. He wanted to stay a face. That was the other big thing. Everybody wanted him to turn heel, but he was like, nope. He got stubborn and it's like, I'm staying face. So
That's weird.
Which doesn't make sense because when he went on the indie scene, he pretty much made his name as a heel. But anyway, we're not talking about this. Is going to
be yeah. I started asking questions too. I got interested real quick.
yeah. All right. So
we'll bring you on as a special guest for the WrestleMania podcast. But like,
that was deep, real quick. That was real deep.
Trust us. Like our stuff is real. Our stuff is deep. Our stuff is deep. Like
it's about to get real gangsta out here.
Yeah.
So honestly, so moving forward, right? The funny thing is, I was watching Total Access. I was watching NFL Network and everything, and they were talking about the AFC is probably going to run almost the show, like as far as like the more dominant conference, and like so when you look at it, the AFC West is probably on paper at least right now, and it should be. The AFC West will probably be the best division in all of football. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it will be. And now, with this Deshaun news, like, it kind of like, we're going to touch base on this too. Because a lot of people have been saying the Browns are almost in a Rams similar situation where they were just a quarterback away. And so now that they have Deshaun, this is like, they're going to be a 12-win, 13-win team now. But we'll talk. I know. I got it. I got this.
The Browns are the Browns, man. The Browns are the Browns.
I got you. The AFC West is the focus right now. The AFC West. So right now, where do you guys see the AFC West falling? Because obviously, it's the Broncos, the Chargers, the Chiefs, and the Raiders, right? The Chiefs, everybody can say the Chiefs didn't really do much this offseason. The only thing they lost Honey Badger, and though they did sign Juju today.
They lost.
They
They
got
lost
Juju.
Pringles, the receiver Pringles. That's why they got Juju.
Right. But so I mean, you could say Pringle Jews are probably an upgrade from Pringle. I would argue that. I'd argue that point. In this offense, he can definitely thrive. I mean, you have Tariq, you have Kelsey. You can't double anybody. Like
Yeah,
Juju
we
can
found
thrive
out.
in this offense.
We found out
Like,
Juju is not a number one option. So in this case, he's
not at
back
all.
to 2 or 3. So he'll be fine.
Not at all. But he's a great two of slot. He's a great, good in that role. So I think he can thrive there. Then you look at the Broncos, who could possibly be a quarterback away from that next step of being a deep playoff team. Like they went, they upgraded obviously from Lott to Russ. They have a solid. Their offensive line is pretty good. They have a good run game, and the rookie running back, who name escapes me for some
Who are
reason.
their tight ends?
Javante is the running back you're thinking about.
Yes, Javante Williams. The tight ends, okay, the tight end I understand to a point, but this draft is also deep at tight end. You know that. You
Where
know
they
the
pick-
draft is deep at tight end.
Where they picks at?
And it don't matter. They can have a second round pick and get a good tight end.
That's what I'm wondering. Like, do they even have a second round pick? I'm sure they do. I just don't know where.
I mean, you can still look it up. But I mean, other than that, you still have 3 great receivers. Tim Patrick came on and balled. Jerry Judy is a baller. Courtney Sutton's a baller. They just were missing a quarterback. They have a good run game, solid O-line, 3 good receivers, or 3 really good receivers. Now you have to get a tight end. You can go get a Greg Dolkick. You can go get a Charlie Kolar, a Jake Ferguson, Derek Deese. You can go get somebody in the draft that's gonna be like step in and be a 3rd round, 4th round pick, and could probably still start. There's still other tight ends out there. There's still tight ends out there.
Their
Anthony.
Their
What's your
first
first
pick in this draft is 64.
That's what the last pick of the 2nd round.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, McBride's probably gone. Dolkick may be gone.
He's probably what I'm hearing. He's probably gone.
You get the 3rd best, 4th best tight end if you want to do that. If you want to do that,
I mean, maybe Watermaker's there. Maybe.
Or you can move back, or like I said, there's tight end options still available. Anthony Ferks is still a free agent. He started tight end for the Titans last year. I mean,
they didn't do use a tight end like that, but proceed.
I mean, but you're not. We're talking like this guy. We're talking like Russell Wilson had like an amazing tight end all these years. Like, yeah, Will Disley, who's been hurt a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, like
okay, granted, but I'm also looking
amazing
back
tight ends.
Look at the defenses that he now has to go up against. So you're gonna need a safety valve, is what I'm saying.
Well, here's the thing. Here's the thing.
It's the draft to get one.
The offense is different, and just remember, he had what was it, Jeremy Stevens over in Seattle. They traded for him. They barely used him. The Pete Carroll system didn't rely on tight ends much. So we have to see what Russell does in this new system, and if they do rely on tight ends, which they probably most likely do, the way Joe is talking about, because of the way the division is set up. So I think they'll be all right because the way Russell Wilson plays and the thin air there, I think they're going to be trouble at home.
I'll put it this way: I don't think any home team in that division loses.
Isn't Albert O over there too?
Excuse me.
Remember Albert O? Isn't Albert O there? The tight end that we both like. I think Albert O is there too. He might be like a 2nd-year tight end right now. He's like a project player, but I think he might still be there. Again, you can still pick up a veteran and draft somebody else. And Russell Wilson's going to make anybody around him better anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
the kid from Missouri.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he's still in Denver.
Mm-hmm. So you got Alberto. They can get a veteran tight end if they need to be, just for the tight end room, and they could probably still draft another one. Like, I think they'll still be okay. And then you have the Raiders, and I mean, we saw the news of Davante Adams leaving the Packers. and going to the Raiders. And what many people say that he went and the Packers, from what I've heard, offered a bigger amount of money,
Yeah.
but it was
He
just
just wanted
one.
to
He said
go.
it was like one. He said it was a dream to play with the Raiders, and two, he said it was like he's playing with his best friend or one of his one of his best friends, and Derek Carr. They played at Fresno State together, so it makes sense, and he wanted to go back and play with them. So I get it. I really do get it.
Oh,
I
we talking
think-
about Devontae? Oh, okay.
Yeah. You got a hot take for this too?
Oh yeah.
Bro, I have no words. So I mean, I knew he was gonna get traded. I just did not expect the Raiders
Yeah.
to go from the shitstorm that it was with John Gruden to like a team where I'm like, okay, they gave us one of our
Yo.
better games. They gave us one of the better games we've had this year going into the playoffs. I still strongly believe everyone sleeps on Derek Carr. Like everybody acts like Derek Carr is fucking Kirk Cousins when we all know that that's Dak Prescott.
Or they think
Derek
he's-
Carr is in a
Good, yo. They're going to be good.
Yeah, they're going
Like-
to be very, very good. They still have Hunter
They're going to be
Renfrow.
good.
Still have Darren Waller. Like they now have Chandler Jones on the side with Max Crosby. They still have Jonathan Abrams. Like they have a fucking team over there in Las Vegas. Like they're going to be legit. Yeah,
Edwards,
like,
a
and then they got
receiver,
Brian
Devontae
Edwards, like,
Adams.
Now
I
Brian
think they have
Edwards is
Kenyon,
a 2.
Kenyon
it's 3
Drake,
now.
Kenyon Drake and Josh Jacobs in the backfield.
Yeah, like they got a squad of and
Fabian
their offensive
Moreau,
line
the
is
backup
decent.
tight end. Yeah, they could probably just add into the draft to more offensive line. The offensive line is deep. We know that. Like,
Yeah, like
the Raiders, like that's that. I understand, like the Chiefs are like the team, but that division is up for grabs. And from the first place spot to the fourth place spot might be like a game or two. Like it might be a game or two difference that decides who wins it and who doesn't. Like it's gonna be a crazy division. Paul, what's your take on the Raiders? I know you said you had a little mini hot take. You're warming up to your Browns move.
Yeah, yeah.
I'll let you go ahead.
So-
You get
The Raiders will be competitive as long as the players are disciplined being in Vegas. Last year, they already had 2 issues with 2 players in Vegas. So as long as Devontae going from Green Bay and nothing to do but go cow tipping, now being in the entertainment capital of the world, as long as he stays out of trouble, the Raiders are legit.
you are comparing children to grown ass men.
It don't matter, bro. It don't matter. When
You
you
are
go
comparing children
when you go from
grown
a
ass
place,
men.
when you go to a place where
Has,
it's cow
has Derek
tipping,
Carr ever been
you
in
got
trouble?
nothing. You got
Has Derek
nothing
Carr
to
ever
do
been
in
in
Green
trouble?
Bay. What are you gonna do in Green Bay?
Has Derek Carr ever been in trouble?
What are you gonna do in Green Bay?
Has Derek Carr ever been in trouble?
What are you gonna do in Green Bay?
Have Derek Carr ever been in trouble?
I'm not asking. I'm asking you. What are you gonna do in Green Bay?
That's the question, though. If Derek Carr can do it, and that's his boy, he ain't letting homeboy fall off like that. The people that got in trouble were children. Everybody that got in trouble was under 25.
It don't matter, bro. It don't matter.
If me and you play football in Vegas under 25, we getting in trouble. When you are over 25, 26, 27, 28, you got something to play for,
Bro,
you not
if
going
I'm
to go
coming-
out
if
there to
I'm-
the casino
if
doing
I
all
played
that
in the
dumb
damn
shit.
cornfields
He's
for the last
been in
4
the
or 5
league.
years,
He's literally been the best
and
receiver
now I'm
in the
going to the
league
entertainment
for like
capital of
6
the world,
years already, bro.
and I got
You
flies
act
hanging
like
around
you
me.
only stay
Shit,
in Green
bro.
Bay for 90% of the time. Green Bay is not where he stays at. He be outside, bro. Like, you're not gonna sit there and live in Green Bay all year. Like, stop that, bro. That narrative is
I'm not
bullshit.
saying he living there all year. I'm
That
saying for the
narrative is
season.
bullshit.
How
I'm
long
sorry.
is the season? How long is the season?
The season is what, like 6, 7 months? 6, 7 months, baby.
Okay. So you think he's gonna live in Green Bay, or he's gonna be like traveling from Green Bay to wherever he lives?
Even if he's locked into the
No.
season,
Is
he's
he
locked
gonna live
into
in
the
Green Bay?
season.
Is he gonna live in Green Bay?
Okay, bro, you've been to Vegas. You know that there's shit to do, but at the same time, when you're that guy, you're not gonna be going out there out in the club. Homeboy's what, 28, 29? He's over that shit. Homeboy's trying to win. Homeboy's
Bro.
is out here trying to win.
It's
Like-
easier to say that, but like
Come
all it
on.
takes is one night. Look at Ruggs. Ruggs didn't get trouble till like
What?
halfway
This
through the season.
23.
I know, but look how long it took for the
23.
accident to
Stop,
happen.
Stop,
And look
stop
at the
comparing
cornerback.
children to
All it
grown-ass
takes
men.
is one night, bro.
Stop
All it
comparing
takes is one night.
childlike behavior.
All it takes
Stop
is one
comparing
night.
kids that go from college.
Look at
to
Kamara.
the league.
Look
Somebody
at
who's
Alvin
been
Kamara.
there.
Alvin Kamara.
Alvin Kamara got into a fight.
It
We don't
took
even
one
know
night
what
though.
happened with the fight.
He lived
We
in.
don't
He
even know what
lives.
happened. There's no
wait,
story that came out
he
about what
lived-
happened.
He played in New Orleans. New Orleans is crazy too. He got no
And-
trouble. All it takes is one night. All it takes is one night, bro.
Okay, he
That's what
got
I'm
into a fight, but at the same time, we still don't know what happened. Homeboy
Right,
could have said
but
stuff
that's what
about
I'm
his
saying,
mama.
though.
Homeboy could have spit in his
But it's
face.
the thing. All it takes
So
is one
what?
night. All it takes is one night. And
All
living
right,
in
and
Vegas,
then
and the way Vegas
Devontae
is,
Adams,
Come on,
Devontae
man.
Adams of all people who has never ever been a problem, who's never been a problem, who's gone to the Pro Bowl, was in Vegas, did not get in trouble.
how long was he in Vegas though? It was like a weekend? Come
How
on,
long
man.
was Alvin
I
Kamara?
could be in
If you gonna
Vegas for a
use
weekend,
Alvin
not get in
Kamara,
trouble.
Keep the standards the same. If you gonna
Put
use
me in
Alvin Kamara,
Vegas for 6, 7 months. Damn,
Keep
I'll get in
it.
trouble somehow.
keep
One way
that
or
same
another.
energy, bro. Why? Because he black? He gonna get in trouble?
Because, bro, going from Green Bay to Vegas is a big difference, man. You're going from cow
You
tipping.
act like homeboy don't spend summers in fucking Bora Bora. Like Vegas ain't
Bro,
all
Bora
that hot
Bora's not
shit
Vegas.
if you can travel the world. Vegas ain't all that. Like stop acting like homeboy ain't never been nowhere for 90.
I'm not saying that. I'm just saying when you play
Stop
and
it.
live somewhere for 7 months, where all there is like cornfields and all that stuff, to like the entertainment capital of the world in Vegas, and you're gonna be there for like more than half
My
a
man,
year.
you already know the rest. The city of Las Vegas is not as lit as the Strip. Homeboy does not have to go to the Strip. There is a lot more shit to do in Vegas than just the Strip.
That's why I said it only takes one night. It
Oh,
only took Russ
come
one
on.
night to mess up his
Come
night.
on with the tomfoolery, man. Come on. Come on with this tomfoolery.
I'm just saying.
He's not 22. He's not 23. He's not a child.
I'm saying
He's
though,
not a child. He's an
bro,
adult.
a lot of guys got in trouble without being when they were
Who's
older.
a lot of guys? You keep naming a lot of guys, and then you name
How old was
people
Ray Rice
who
when
are
he got
sub
in trouble?
25.
How old was Ray Rice when he got in trouble?
Ray Rice punched his girlfriend in an elevator.
He got in
That would
trouble.
have happened anywhere. His girl was being annoying as
How
hell.
old was he? How old was he?
She caught the right hit because she was being annoying as hell. That shit ain't got nothing to do with Vegas.
Oh
He
shit!
basically told her to shut the
But it's
fuck
the
up.
thing, though.
Not to have
Getting
down.
in trouble doesn't have to do with age.
Exactly.
That's what I'm
So it
saying. You're
doesn't
like,
have to do with
oh,
location
but you're
either.
saying, oh, the young
Doesn't
ones
have
got
to
in
do with
trouble. Young
location
ones. I'm
either.
like,
If he was
it
gonna get in
doesn't
trouble, he would
matter.
have gotten in trouble already.
My thing is because he's going from like Green Bay to Vegas, it's to change the atmosphere. He's got to make that adjustment.
And technically, if you're talking in football standards, Green Bay is a bigger market.
It is. But I'm saying, in living, what are you gonna do? You got nothing to do. Stay home, play video games, or whatever you can do. What's he gonna do in Green Bay? What's he gonna do in Green Bay? The club.
What is he
probably
gonna do in
closed at
Vegas
12
that's any different during the season? He's gonna go and work out like he always does.
I don't know. We'll see. That's the one thing I didn't like about
Come
the
on,
team in
man.
Vegas, man.
You thinking about what you would do if your ass went to Vegas from living in Green Bay? That's the problem. You thinking about the shit you would do. You telling on yourself right now, Mr. Paulinho.
I don't know what
You
you're talking
telling on
about, man.
yourself. You telling on yourself. See, that's the problem. You out here thinking about the fact that you went from New York to Florida and started to act up, sir. Sir.
I don't know what you're talking about,
Sir.
man.
Stop
I'm a good
projecting,
citizen.
sir.
I'm a
Stop
good
projecting,
model citizen.
Stop projecting, sir. I see what you're doing. Stop projecting, sir.
I'm a good model
Devontae gonna be
citizen.
fine.
Like I
Listen,
said, like as
Devontae got
long as
money.
the Raiders,
Devontae got money like Mr. Anderson down there, always traveling every other weekend. Devontae gonna be fine.
what is, like, to quote Biggie Smalls, more money, more problems.
Why am I being brought into anything?
Because you too
Like,
quiet. You too quiet.
Be quiet.
You
I
too
was
quiet.
I was scared.
Mm-mm. I
We still
told
need
you
to
don't bring me on here on a Friday night. Don't do that. to yourself. Don't do that.
We didn't even talk about the Chargers yet. Like, oh
Yeah.
my God.
Oh, I ain't got nothing to
No,
say about it.
But besides that, as long as everybody stays out of trouble on the Raiders team, they're going to be trouble. They're going to be
Oh
trouble.
my goodness.
Bro,
As long
it's
as
the Raiders,
everybody stay
man.
out of trouble.
It's the
Y'all act
Raiders.
like Vegas.
It's
y'all act
something
like-
about
listen.
it's something about the black and silver. You get in trouble.
Them dudes like to fight. That's all it is.
Even when they were
You got
Oakland and
the
LA.
holy Christian leader and you got the goons in the side. Listen, if you read the Bible, Jesus hung out with
Oh,
the
I
homies.
know.
That's
Oh, I
Derek
know.
Carr and all his teammates.
That's Derek Carr.
That
Jesus
is
was
so
there with the
ignorant.
homies.
Oh my God, that is ignorant.
He called Derek. Oh damn! I'll say a prayer for you.
Yeah,
Listen,
man,
what was the first thing Derek Carr said
you
when
about to be struck by
Henry Ruggs got in
lightning.
trouble? We need to pray for him. I knew what kind of man Derek Carr was at that point. I was like, all right, I see what Top telling you all, homie. I understand.
Yeah. No, but
Yeah.
the Raiders will be a tough out next year. They just add Devontae Adams. Oh, jeez, bro.
And
They were
Chandler
a
Jones.
tough
Like, we're not
out
even
this
talking
year.
about
But
Chandler
see,
Jones.
here's my thing. I'm
I'm
still trying to
saying
figure out.
you have debatably one of the better, if not best, pass rush duels in the NFL.
Like,
And the thing is, here's the thing people don't realize.
Chandler Jones and Max Crosby are disgusting. Like,
Yeah, people were before I was reading about this whole Devontae deal, they were like, oh, as soon as Aaron Rodgers signed his contract, Devontae was out. Like, no, you don't get it. Devontae was out even before that contract was signed.
Aaron Newell was
been
up.
wanted out. He been wanted out
yeah.
of Green Bay. People trying to blame Aaron Rodgers and his new contract for it. Like, no, he was out. He knew he was out even before.
like Paul said, what was you going to do living in Green Bay? Cow tipping? Nah, bro. Deuces.
Yeah, he was like, I want to be out. I want to go where I want to go. So Green Bay was just like, you know what? We're going to get something in return. So they signed and trade pretty much.
Aaron's a bold man for going back, honestly.
What was
Like,
that?
Aaron's a bold man for going back because he ain't got nobody to throw to.
Mm-hmm.
I
His best
know.
receiver right now is Valdez Scanley.
I thought it was Lazard.
It's one of those two. That's it.
I think
Like,
Valdez just re-signed. So,
And Lazard the negotiating his contract.
yo, that it'd be funny. This is the first time that they actually draft a wide receiver in the first round.
I mean, like, I feel like at
At
this point
this-
you have no choice.
You
Like,
don't have a choice. You
really
literally
feel like
you
you
have
don't have a
first
choice.
round picks.
And then Aaron Rodgers is gonna be mad and complain that he has nobody to throw the ball to. But I mean,
At this point,
Again,
I don't want to
if
hear
you
Aaron Rodgers
knew-
complain no more. You had a
if
chance to
you
leave.
knew,
Yeah.
exactly. If you
Yeah.
knew the best receiver in the NFL was leaving your team and you still decided to sign on for more than like 1 year,
is your
that's
fault.
on you.
It's
Yeah.
your fault.
On you.
Sir.
You're
Yeah,
like,
he had
oh,
a chance. He had a chance to leave. He could have gone to Tennessee. I thought he was gonna go to Tennessee because he was building his house there, and like
anywhere.
that offense
Like-
was ready for him pretty much. You know, so can you imagine if Rodgers went to Tennessee? Golly, the best running back he'd ever play with, right there in the
They
backfield.
still would have cut Julio.
Yeah, I still would cut Julio. And then you
Yeah,
got
but the
Brown.
Titans at least draft receivers in the first round.
They do.
Facts.
They do. Yeah.
They're probably gonna need to now.
The third.
They're probably gonna need to now because they really ain't got nobody else outside of AJ Brown.
Nope. No.
No, not at all.
No.
All right. So
Chargers.
the Chargers. I mean, listen. We like the Chargers. We talked about them a lot last year, and I know that I was really big on the Chargers last year. This year, just Khalil Mack alone, like just Khalil Mack alone. Khalil Mack and Joey Bosa just sounds disgusting. Like
If they can stay healthy. If they can both stay healthy at the same time.
if they can stay healthy, just those two names alone on your defense. Yeah,
Who you gonna double team? Who you double teaming?
You can't.
Man, fuck a double team. How you throwing on that? Like, you can't throw and then you're scared of getting hit. So, like, what do? I'm a check down. No, that's not happening.
Bro, the AFC West coaches, they manage like playing chess. Oh, you get a quarterback? Let me get an edge. Oh, you getting that? Let me get
They
this.
didn't even say get an edge. They say, yo, let me get an edge and let me get a corner. I already got my safety. I already got another edge. Word, I can go and get a defensive tackle or a linebacker in the draft. I just drafted a linebacker last year. That's only going to get better. Like, come on, bro. Like,
Yo, like these guys sat here and they got Khalil Mack opposite of Bosa. They went out, they resigned Covington. They who else did they win and go? They went and they got Sebastian Joseph Day, D tackle interior, and they got Austin Johnson on the interior. And then you turn around and put JC Jackson, who was one of the top people who have not led the NFL interceptions.
and not
in the past like 3 seasons or past couple seasons, and then you add him in the secondary with Derwin James, Nasir Adderley. Like that defense is just filthy.
like their weakest position is linebacker, and they just drafted a linebacker like a year or two ago.
Yeah,
And they probably could. And the thing is, they could definitely afford to either add a linebacker or add a defensive tackle, which to me is where I predict Jordan Davis will go.
well, I don't think they need to do that because they just signed they signed 3. Like, so I wouldn't even do that. But I mean, if you sit up here now, I mean, imagine they went out and they got Bobby Wagner. They plug him in the middle. Like,
Jeez.
imagine,
That'd be
imagine,
Look,
Goofy.
imagine
put it this way. Put it this way.
him and Kenneth Murray at the inside backers with your 4-man line with that secondary. Like,
Don't be surprised if 3 teams come out of the AFC West.
I wouldn't be surprised if all 4 teams came out of the AFC West. If I'm keeping it a stat, you like, I'm gonna keep it real with you. Like,
it's bananas.
I wouldn't say 4, but there's a possibility of 4 coming out. But you know what I mean? They'll be like, don't be surprised if it's like 3 of the 4 teams get into the
like
playoffs.
I'm not even gonna be surprised if like one whole division in the AFC just doesn't make it at all. Like usually, it'd be like, oh, a division leader went. Nope.
Yo, it's
Not
bad.
this year 'cause you trash. You trash.
It's
like-
really,
The funny thing was that the AFC East went from like the up and coming, like, oh, the AFC East could be dope, to like, y'all niggas are still type trash now. Like we went from being like, oh, okay, to like, y'all niggas.
It's just
still
because everybody was very interested because like you had 4 very young quarterbacks. You had Zach, you had Mac, you had Josh Allen, you have Tua. Like, so it's like they have all 4 teams have like a solid defense. They're all building and they all have a solid quarterback.
We didn't have solid defense.
No, I mean, but you guys were like wrecked with injuries. So I'm not gonna tear you guys apart. Like,
fair. Okay.
I'm not gonna tear you guys apart.
Cool.
Because
Thank you.
you
See,
saw-
at least
yeah.
Okay. Thank you. That's all I'm
We
saying.
talk all the time. You guys signed a lot of like a good amount of people last year, and they just got hurt or anything. Like, but you
Joyner
guys,
got
if
hurt.
everybody's healthy,
That
you
thing
guys
got
should
hurt.
have a solid defense. Like all 4 teams should have a solid defense, so a decent amount of weapons, and a good offense and a young quarterback. And it was like that's why the AFC was interesting. Now it's just like, whoa, the AFC West is stacked, and then it's just like, whoa, and we're gonna segue to this now, but the AFC North is also disgusting this year now.
Yep.
Because obviously we all just know about this Deshaun Watson news, and it's just like for what these guys gave up is crazy. I'm going to pass it to Paul in a second because I know Paul has a huge hot take coming for the Browns. Like I said at the beginning of this podcast, so I'm going to let him do what he got to do.
I need this
But-
one now.
But real quick, for anybody who somehow did not see this, Deshaun Watson, yes, was traded to the Cleveland Browns today. It was a massive trade. It was Deshaun Watson, the 5th round pick, for a 1st round pick from the Browns this year, 2023 and 2024. Also, a 2nd round pick and a 4th round pick. Again, huge trade. The Browns are trying to be the AFC version of the Rams, a win now, we feel we're a quarterback away kind of move. They really mortgaged their future, in my opinion. But I mean, again, you have a top 5, top 10 offensive line. You have hopefully Deshaun can pick up where he left off on the Texans and be that great quarterback we all saw he can be. You have a great run game. They need to get,
Phenomenal.
in my opinion, they need to get another receiving option for him. Because you have Peoples-Jones, you just got Amari, you have Njoku. Njoku's been,
But
he's not worth really the
Peoples-Jones
money.
is your- again, I like Peoples-Jones, but again, Peoples-Jones was always that guy where it's like he's gonna take like 4 years to really figure out what the hell he's gonna be.
Yeah, and
So
I mean,
he's not even a 2 at this point. Like he's a decent 3. So you need a 2.
I think if they can somehow find, again, this receiver draft is decently deep.
They don't have no 1st round picks though.
I know, but they're gonna have to go. I think they trade their 2nd. They're gonna have to try to go to the 3rd or package something to try and move up to the 2nd. They gotta do something. But there's also receiving options still available. Like there's still some people out there.
Ain't nobody paying for nobody in this damn receiver market. Listen, thank you, Jacksonville. You
No,
made it impossible to sign a receiver. Thank you.
You gotta do something. Obviously, like they gotta do something. Obviously, Odell is not coming back to the Browns. Neither is Jarvis. They just released him. But there's gotta be something they can do between either
If this
free
happened and
or-
Jarvis was still on the team, I'd probably be more like, okay, yeah, I might be cooking with something. If Jarvis was still on that team, but like, I mean, maybe they get. The thing is, too, you also have to realize there's a part of this that we're not accounting for. Is they're going to recoup at least a second or a third in trading Baker Mayfield. Like they're going to recoup that pick.
Fair.
So,
Fair.
like, it's not like they don't have options here because they could definitely maybe even package, because again, they have a good secondary. They have the front. They probably have an embarrassment of riches in secondary, if I'm being honest. So you can package one of your secondary players that maybe isn't a top 2 guy for you, that you know that's like, he's good, but we can get rid of him. Like, I'm more thinking in like a guy like Greedy. You can package him with the second to move up, to go and get the receiver that you want. Especially because if all estimations, tend to come true, a lot of receivers are going to get pushed to the bottom half of that first round. So you can probably take, let's say, Indianapolis or Seattle's pick, because those are really the 2 teams that seem to be the most likely. And move up back into the first round and probably take a receiver at the tail end, is how I'm looking at it. But you're right. They definitely do need to go and get a receiver.
What if the Browns signed Julio?
Is Julio going to play more than 8 games for you, though?
Yeah.
I mean, if they draft him, if they sign him and they draft a receiver in the 3rd round along with Peoples-Jones, it could be something.
It could be, but I still worry about Julio's health, because I don't think
you have to.
I don't think Julio's at the place now where he can play 16 games. And that's not, if your number 2 guy can't play every game or most of the games, then he's not a viable number 2.
They're talking about Landry coming back.
They're talking about who coming back?
Landry coming back.
No way.
Browns management, I feel like management really, really fumbled the bag on that one.
I can't see that one. I can't see them coming back on that.
Well, I mean, have you heard any news about like any teams having interest in him?
I believe it was the Chiefs and someone else, but the Chiefs just signed Juju, so that's a dub right now.
Yeah.
Because you got to realize Jarvis is also pretty much at this point, he's a really high end slot. So, and there aren't a lot of teams that need slots. I mean, truthfully, if I'm being real with you, Buffalo is looking real nice for his services with losing Cole.
Who's
Jarvis?
For who?
Jarvis.
That's oh my god! You really gonna put that out there when you're a Jets fan?
I mean, listen, I objectively,
just
objectively, like bias aside, that's probably the best place to put him, because everyone is already loaded up with younger, and like I would say a team like the Ravens, but they already have they pretty much have the guys that they want there. They have a lot of speed guys, and Jarvis isn't really a speed guy. He's more quick than fast, and he's more of a possession guy, just kind of kind of move the chains kind of dude. So he doesn't fit what Baltimore wants. I mean, could he go to Pittsburgh? Sure. But is he really going to want to go and catch passes from Mitch Trubisky? I don't think so. The thing is, the teams that you can probably put him on don't make sense. Buffalo is the only team that, to me, I look at and I'm like, it makes sense. It just makes sense. Like, because he's not going to the Rams now. When they just signed Allen Robinson for 3 years, he's not going to the Rams.
And the Rams are talking about either releasing or trading Woods.
Yeah, like they're already trying to get rid of Robert Woods.
Well, shoot, the Browns should throw like a 4th round pick at Robert Woods. Then shoot,
I would agree with that. I would agree with that. I would hope the Jets will throw a 3rd at them. I mean, we got 1/3. I mean, lucky number 69. So I mean, why not?
Yeah, Paul. Should I? I'm gonna go on mute after I let loose on the Browns real quick. So
I'm about to do the same thing just because so I don't cut you off. Because
so Paul, you go ahead and you clear. You get yourself right, and then you can. The floor is yours, sir. You go ahead.
I'm good. All right. So the Browns went all in with Deshaun Watson, and here's the problem I see it. Like, it's a good on paper, it's good for them. But then when you look at everything surrounding this, first of all, the civil case is still going. So that's still pending. The NFL still has their investigation going on. So if they find any issues right there, you're gonna get suspended. We have to look and see. This man hasn't played football in over a year. Can he continue to play off of that where he left off at after not playing for a whole year? And we have to remember, football is always evolving year to year. Now he has to learn the new schemes coming out that defensive coaches are playing against and doing, and read those again now because he's been off for a whole year. If he's been doing anything, we don't know. Yes, he's been at the facility of the Texans and practicing all that stuff, but we don't know what he's actually been doing. Second or third, I lost track. Well, continuing, he told the Browns they were out like earlier today, like late last night. They were out. It was down between the Falcons and the Saints. The reason why those two fell out, he went back to the Browns, is because of the guaranteed money. None of those teams want to guarantee his money. We're talking about $230 million guaranteed, or $240. Over $200 million guaranteed. Guaranteed. And they both said, no, we're not guaranteeing you that money. No. They said no. So he went back to the Browns. Cleveland should be happy to have him, but you shouldn't be too happy because y'all weren't even the bridesmaid. Y'all were the freaking, like, the ugly duckling in the back. Like, let me get something. I'm going to get something. So let me get the ugly chick in the back. I'll get some after that. Guaranteed. So you can be happy, you got Deshaun Watson, but there's a lot of questions surrounding him. Y'all weren't his first choice. Y'all weren't even the second choice. Y'all the ugly duckling that's like, oh, I'll get whatever I can. You know what I'm saying? Now you're hoping that this man comes back and plays like he was like when he left off with the Texans. If this man gets in trouble with this investigation, suspended, when something happens, you in the books for $230 million already, $240 guaranteed on his salary. And ain't nobody gonna take that off your books. Nobody in the North gonna take that off your books. Nobody. Look at Matt Ryan. Nobody's taking his salary off of the Falcons' books. And you think they'll take Watson's salary off your books? Yeah,
that's actually not true.
Cleveland really went in for this one. No, Matt actually postponed the roster bonus because they thought they were going to get Deshaun, so he pushed back the roster bonus.
He's still in play for the Colts. So I'm saying he's still in play.
Who's that?
They're trying to mend fences, Matt Ryan. They're trying to mend fences, but he's still in play.
They are, but the thing is, I think they might do something to mess around with the salaries. I've seen it
proceed.
before.
I just wanted to, just
proceed. And here's the thing. Cleveland's going all in again. They did it before when they built their team around Baker, and they're going all in again with Deshaun. They gave up a lot. So we're talking about the Browns here, man. It's the Browns. The QB cemetery, in the 10 years they had this manager, they had 12 quarterbacks. They just finally put the end of the tombstone for Baker Mayfield in his QB cemetery. It's Deshaun Watson. Deshaun Watson is the best quarterback they've had since Bernie Kosar. Y'all two were probably in diapers when y'all heard that name, or probably even heard that name. I'm talking about a long time ago.
I mean, I know who he was, but I don't think I was even alive when he played.
Yeah, no, trust me. The last time they had a quarterback as skilled and quality, Bernie Kosar, AFC Championship. They lost that one too because of Keith Byers' fumble.
What was he, like in the 80s?
Yep.
Yeah, I wasn't even alive. We weren't alive in the 80s.
Yeah, so that's the last time. Imagine that. They've been going through quarterbacks. That quarterback cemetery is deep. Is Deshaun Watson skilled enough not to end up in that cemetery? But we're talking about the Browns. That franchise is cursed, man.
I'll tell you what, man. I'm torn because I look at that division and I'm like, obviously the AFC North we're talking about now, you have the Browns, you have the Steelers, you have the Ravens, you have the Bengals.
Oh, we didn't even talk about
that. I know. You have to put the Bengals on top. You have to put the Bengals on top. They won the division. They have to be on top of that division.
Joey franchise. Come on now.
Exactly. I mean, and they went and they shore up that offensive line because they knew
Mhm.
they looked at it and were like, we lost because
All
we
I'm
did not
saying
have a
is
line.
there's still what is it? Teron Armstead is still out there, and now Lionel Collins is out there.
Oh, they got Lionel Collins in the building. They've had him for like the past like 24 hours.
Oh
He's
yeah,
not
no, he's
leaving.
there.
Cincy.
He's
He's
they
staying.
gonna
Oh, my
tackle
bad. It
that
was
shit.
Biner. Biner was the one that fumbled. Sorry, Biner.
Yeah, yeah. He's
Not Byron.
they're not. Yeah, they're not letting him out the building. The
Yeah.
Bengals want to lock up Lionel Collins for some money, but you got Jonah Williams, you got Leo Collins. You're probably about to add added Alex Kappa. Like they added some offense along with a receiving core, which is very young and still is like a top 5 receiving core in the NFL with
Mhm.
Jamar Chase and Higgins and Boyd, and they're all under 30. I think Boyd's at the oldest at like 27 or something like that. Like
I don't even think he's
something
that
like
old.
that. And you might not even be that old. And then the only thing you have to do is you have to get a tight end. That's it.
And I think they have one. I think they're comfortable with their back. No, they just fuck. They got somebody today. They got somebody decent too.
I think they didn't get Hurst, did they? They didn't get Hurst.
Yes. They signed Hayden
They got
Hurst.
Hayden
that?
Hurst.
Yeah, they signed Hayden Hurst.
Yeah.
They good. They good. They chilling, bro. They good over there. They
Tell
good
you,
over there.
These guys are gonna repeat and win the AFC North again, in my opinion.
I don't know about that though.
I think they're gonna win the AFC North.
I don't know,
I
man.
think they
I
do.
don't.
I think it's gonna come down to them and the Browns. I think it is because I'm looking
No.
at the Ravens. I'm looking at the Ravens, right?
Mhm.
And when I really look at these guys, they lost their defensive coordinator in Wink Martindale. They
Okay.
lost several pieces off of that defense, including Anthony Averett, Jimmy Smith, Deshaun Elliott, CJ Board, LJ Fort. They lost a lot of pieces off that defense.
Calais Campbell is still a free agent.
They lost pieces off that defense. Like
You're not wrong, bro. You're not
so I'm
wrong.
sitting here like you have to rebuild like pretty much a whole defense, a whole new defensive coordinator, and the Ravens still do not have a consistent number one receiver. They don't. It would probably be Hollywood Brown if anybody. But other than that, like you have Rashad Bateman who's been hurt. Did somebody just get signed? You're looking like somebody just got signed.
No, Leonard Fournette is looking to get paid, and he claims this is his words that he has been playing like a top 5 running back these past 2 seasons. I don't think that counts for much because running backs don't get paid no more. So like,
No.
that don't
It's
mean
running back by committee now. It's running
yeah.
back
So
committee.
like that don't mean nothing. But apparently, Homeboy's looking to get paid, which is why he's not
On top of that, he ran behind one of the best offensive lines in football with the best quarterback to ever play the game in Tom Brady, along with Mike Evans and Chris Godwin and Rob Gronkowski. As a running back,
Yeah.
with that loaded of an offense, what more do you need to do besides get the ball and run straight? What else do you have to do? I could see if you had a 1,500-yard rushing season on like the Texans or the Lions. If you were damn near a 2,000-yard rusher on the Lions or the Jaguars, and you went 0-16, but you were a 1,700-yard rusher, hey, you're a great talent. You're amazing. Leonard Fournette, no. I don't know what this man's looking to get paid. I don't know if he's going to try to ask for some $60, $70 million deal, $50 million. No.
You're not getting that, bro.
No. Especially now that Brady's back, the Bucks could literally sit here and draft a running back in the 3rd round and be fine.
Bro, they let both their running backs go and are not in a rush to bring them back. That tells me everything I need to know.
No. Why are you? Like,
it's
why?
not like it used to be. It's not like 20, 30, 20, 15, 20 years ago where you needed a running back, a workhorse running back.
No.
They could go bargain bin shopping in the 4th and the 5th and be straight.
Like,
or a free agency.
They can go sign Marlon Mack. He's a free agent.
Word, that is the one position where barely anybody's gotten signed in this free agent class.
They're not going outside of no running back for no $40, $50 million. It's not happening no more.
It's crazy. Like, it's crazy because the way the running back got back committees by with each team. It's like, why am I gonna spend so much money on half of a running back when I have to pay another running back because I need 2 starting running backs. There's no need. And we all found out when what's his name? What's that fool's name we signed, Jay?
Le'Veon Bell.
Yeah, when we signed him, when he got that contract, everything, it was like that's probably the biggest contract for a running back that's gonna happen in a long time. I don't think you'll have one again.
Yo, the
And
Giants. As much as I love Saquon Barkley, before we get back to the AFC North, as much as I love Saquon Barkley, these guys, the Giants, have been sitting here trying to trade this guy, and they say his market's a 4th round pick. The Giants, other than Saquon Barkley, have practice squad running backs behind them. So the fact that they're okay with one releasing Devontae Booker and then trading Saquon Barkley, knowing there's no other running back on the roster worth a damn, it tells you everything you need to know. Like,
yeah, like I said,
considering trading Saquon Barkley for a 4th round pick when the next person is like Antonio Williams, who they just signed off their own practice squad from the Bills, and then like we have an international guy. Like we have like one of the NFL Europe we have it's like an international player, Sandro Potsdamer. Like we have some guy from Germany. We have him like a 6th round pick from last year who played running back for Arizona, Gary Brightwell, who literally sat here and was like, I love special teams. That's why I was drafted. Not as a running back. I was drafted to be a gunner on special teams. That's why he was drafted. I'm ready to, because Joe Judge drafted him to be a special teamer. So we have that guy, we have Sandro Potsdamer, and we have Antonio Williams as our 3 running backs on the roster under Saquon Barkley. And the fact that we were willing to trade Saquon for whatever, a 3rd, 4th, whatever we may got, just lets you know that the running back is not valued. Because we're looking at Dalvin Cook's brother right now, James Cook. As much as we're looking at him and we're looking at Kenneth Walker, but neither of them are going to go 1st round either. No. I think we can get James Cook. I think we can get James Cook in the 3rd. I think
James
we can get Kenneth Walker
may last longer than that, depending on how the
3rd or 4th. I think we can get Kenneth Walker maybe in the 2nd or 3rd. Like Breece Hall probably going to say. I don't think there's going to be a running back in the 1st round this year.
No, absolutely.
I doubt it. And Breece Hall is the best running back in the class.
It would probably be Tampa Bay to take them. Like if Tampa Bay takes one in the 1st round, I wouldn't be surprised, but they would probably be the team to take it.
I don't see a running back coming out in the 1st round this year. And in the 2nd round, I only see Breece Hall and maybe Kenneth Walker. I don't see any other running back until the 3rd round.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Jay, what do you think? Should we send the 4th rounder to the Giants for Saquon?
I'd 100% do it. We got 2 of them.
I would too.
We got 2 of them. Shit.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't even. There's no way I would ever trade this guy for a 4th rounder. There's no way. There's like literally no way.
We got 2. Here, have one of our 4th rounders.
Take it. Listen, bro. Y'all. I put it like this. Y'all helped us take what's his face? Leonard Williams off our books for us to clean up our line. It's only right that we repay the favor and help you clear your running back room, cleanse the spirituals, and move him down the hallway.
The sage. No. That's the sage.
The shamalama. Give me that 4th round.
Getting back to the AFC North. Besides the Browns, we talked about the Browns. We talked about the Bengals.
Talk about the Ravens.
We really did, but
I mean, I talked about the Bengals. Y'all can talk about the Bengals if you have something to say. Like, Jay, you say something about the Bengals? You want to say something?
I'm just waiting to see if they sign Lionel Hollins. If they do, then it's like
Lyle Collins. Like, yeah.
I also think that they're still in line at 31 to take a offensive lineman. Because I feel like, honestly, I don't think Zion Johnson gets there, but if he's there, there's no way to me that you don't take him.
Yo, remember last year, they were in position to draft somebody. I forgot who it was. We were watching the draft. And they were in position to draft somebody. And then they traded back and took Jackson Carman.
Yeah, I think it was Creed. We were all saying, like, bro, they have to take Creed.
Starting center. And he was one of the top rated centers in all football last year for the Chiefs.
That's what I'm saying. Like, and it's one of those situations where it probably won't happen, but with all the defensive talent and the skill positions, like If they're in line to take Linderbaum this year, I'm going to be upset because I have a feeling they're going to pass on him too. And I don't. It doesn't make sense. Doesn't make sense to me at all.
Disgusting, disgusting. I mean,
The
I look
Bengals,
at the
the
Yeah,
Bengals.
Bo.
I see the Bengals having the chance of repeating out of that conference as a division champ.
They definitely do have a chance. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah. The closest one I see them giving competition are the Browns. Unless the Ravens find some way of freaking rebuilding that defense and finding a good defensive coordinator to work around
They
with
could
things.
up by signing Honey Badger because people forget Honey Badger's still there and he's a culture guy.
now they're gonna remember they got Marcus Williams. Remember that.
Exactly.
Yeah, so
There's that too. Yeah, you
there's
also
a
got
lot
Mark
that we have to
Williams,
wait and
which-
see because they still have to rebuild there. Pittsburgh is a weird team because the reason why I say that is like when you think they're out, they're like, oh, they're gonna be trash this year. They pull out
They
some
find a way
crap.
to win,
Yeah, they find ways to win. Something with that culture and that organization.
which is another reason why I still think that's the number one team that's gonna sign Honey Badger. I think that's the team I think to watch that's gonna sign Honey Badger.
And if they sign
Just
him, I
make
think they keep him.
with
I don't know if he retires.
what's
Oh
his
my
name?
gosh, Minka and Honey Badger.
Minka
That
and
sounds
Tyron.
disgusting.
Yeah, if they sign Honey Badger, I think they keep him like until he retires. I don't see why they will let him go. Like he
That'd
would
be
fit nice in
disgusting.
that locker room.
Like, I didn't even think about that. That would be nasty with those two at safeties. Oh my gosh. The Steelers to me are interesting because defensively they have things to do still. Like you got Miles Jack. You went and I mean their D line, they always figure something out. They're always solid. They re-signed some of the offensive pieces and brought some other pieces in. But going from Ben to Mitch Trubisky is going to be big. It's a huge change in the offense. Obviously, Mitch is way more mobile than Ben was. You have Najee Harris, one of the better running backs in the league anyway, but the best rookie running back in the league. Hopefully, you can see Travis Etienne next year and he can get back and be healthy. But then, like after that, my main issue with Trubisky is who he's throwing to. Like,
Yeah.
because James Washington's gone
Mm-hmm.
and now Juju's gone.
Mm-hmm.
So
Pools the only
right
one.
now, all they have is Deontay Johnson and they have
Claypool.
Claypool, who's inconsistent,
Mhm.
hurt often, and he has a bad temper, which I think is going to lead to a suspension from him at some point.
Mental.
So you have Claypool, you have Deontay, and the only other person you have right now is you have Frymouth. But again, with Claypool being inconsistent, Mitch isn't Ben. I think they're gonna switch the system to the offense and rely mostly off of a downhill run game, play action type of thing. I think that's probably what's going to end up happening. But you still need Mitch to hit the throws on time, on the move. And like I said, Deontay has a bad habit with drops. Claypool has shown inconsistency. So you have to find somebody else that's going to be a better outlet to get the ball to, more consistent. Like unless those two grow up real quick, maturity wise, and just having catching the ball, like it's gonna, to me, I think they're gonna finish last in the division. I honestly do.
Here's
I think
the
it's
interesting
the
take.
Rams. I think
Here's
it's
the
them
interesting
them in the Ravens.
If they find a way to get Woods and sign Landry, having those two guys would help Trubisky. I'm not saying that it's going to be a world changer, but it's going to help. It's not going to be crazy. That pushes Claypool down and Washington down as well. But at least, hey, figure it out because y'all ain't figure it out. So we had to bring these two guys in because you can't figure shit out. If they get Woods and Landry, it'll be interesting to see what Trubisky can do with those two.
Yeah. Even though I do
I
feel like
see.
they play similar roles, so I feel like that's a little redundant.
Yeah, I do too. I think they'd be okay with one of them, and I think honestly, like either or would be good because both I think are good blockers. So if you want to run like some type of sweep game to Deontay, Robert Wood I'd say is the better blocker, but
Yeah,
I-
but the thing
I-
is, remember, Pittsburgh loves to run the ball.
Oh yeah, of course.
So what they
Well, that's
love,
what I'm saying. Robert Woods is a better blocker. He's a better run blocker. He's a
yeah,
better blocker out on the
yeah.
inside, outside. So
Mhm.
I mean, I, I don't know. I don't know what they're gonna do. Like I said, I still see between them and the Ravens being the bottom of that division. Honestly, like because as of now, me personally, the nod to I'm
Bengals.
giving the nod to the Bengals, and then I'm
Oh,
going to
me
say
too.
the Browns come in a close second.
Yeah,
Honestly,
yep.
I mean, it's like I said, it's gonna be interesting. The main three things we just we went over was this whole Devontae, the AFC North. Like I don't know, it's gonna be interesting. I mean, again, there's still a lot of names out there. Like that's like Jay keeps saying about Tyrann Matthew, like Terran Armstead and Stephon Gilmore, Bobby Wagner, like Trent Brown, Akeem Hicks. Like there's still a lot of people out there. I necessarily the only thing I think the Browns are missing is I think an edge rusher opposite of Miles Garrett. This is the only thing I can really think they're missing. They could probably add some depth pieces, but they'll probably could do that in the draft. I mean, they only have some limited options now with their picks. So I feel like I feel like they could only kind of add depth pieces at this point. Um, we can talk. I mean, just to go over what our local teams did, or our teams that we go for, I should say, did. What do you guys feel? How's the pulse of Jets Nation with this first week of free agency down? You guys made a lot of moves. I say hats off to you guys. You guys like did a lot of shit. So how do y'all feel?
You
What's the
you want
the
to go first,
morale
or you want me to
overall?
go?
I'll go first. It's the thing that Jets Nation needs to realize. They need to be patient. They want to sign everybody. Oh, let's sign him. Let's sign this. Like, yo, just be patient. Let JD do his thing. Like everybody, they want to sign Chandler Jones. And here's our thing with Chandler Jones. Chandler Jones, I wanted Chandler Jones. Me and Jay spoke about it. We wanted Chandler Jones, but not for the money he signed. And my reason was because of the fact that Chandler Jones, I don't think would have gotten the sacks, but it's not because it's not skillful. It's because he'll been pulling coverage, blocking coverage, and people love to freaking look at stats too much. So they're like, oh, he's not worth it. If you're watching the game film and you're seeing he's getting double blocked, that leaves the other edge open to beat his single, block. And that's the thing. Sometimes people don't realize this. So I was like, I want Chandler Jones, but not for that money, because I know if he doesn't produce in sacks, people are going to start questioning if he's worth that money, but don't realize that he's actually doing other things besides that. He did that in Arizona. Yeah, he had like a couple big games with sacks, but he did other things when he played on the field. I like what we're doing with our secondary. I don't think we need to draft a cornerback or any DBs right now. I'm going to be interested to see what they're going to do now. So I'm wondering if they're going with Davis at the second first pick, and maybe a lineman on the first pick that we have to shore up our line, our offensive line and the defensive line. So I'm happy where we're at. I'm happy where we're at, where we're going. I'm gonna see if JD does any more signings before this is over, though.
I dig that, Jay. What's your take on this whole thing on Jets Nation? What are you looking at?
I think it's kind of split for me. There's how I feel about it, and then there's how I see Jets Nation feels about it. So when I look at how I feel about it, I love everything he's done. I think everyone's making this whole number one receiver thing is really overblown now. Like everyone needs to have a number one guy, and they have to have. I think it's overblown. I actually did read something today that the Jets actually view Elijah Moore as becoming that number one guy. So the Jets fans versus the front office seem to be on different pages. Like from what I hear, the front office believes that Bryce Hall is a number two, number three guy, which is why they went out and got DJ Reed, which I don't necessarily agree with, but I can understand logic behind. Also, the front office views Elijah Moore as the number one guy or the future potential number one guy. And that's why they went and got Corey Davis to, I guess, take the pressure off until he becomes that number one guy and him and Zach get that chemistry, which I 100% am behind. This whole antiquated notion that the Jets need to get a number one receiver right now, I don't think is true, and I've never really believed it was true. That being said, do I think the Jets need to get a complement to what they already have in the receiver room? Yes, I do. Do I think that it needs to be, we need to go out and get a name, because if we don't have a name, then we're always going to look bad. Like, stop trying to look cute. It's like, Jets Nation is kind of like that girlfriend that's like, I gotta go, when I go out, I gotta look cute. And it's like, you don't have to look cute for nobody else but the person that you with. Stop trying to look cute for everybody. We don't have to do all the stuff to make you look cute. Calm the fuck down. You're already at 8. Sit your ass down. Stay home, watch Netflix. That's what Jets Nation need to do. Shut the fuck up, sit the fuck down, and calm your ass down. We went and got a number 1 tight end, CJ Uzomah. We went and got number 2 tight end, Gronklin, who's damn near number 1. Both guys are maulers and will come out here and abuse defensive players next season. We went out and got Lincoln Tomlinson, who apparently doesn't even know if he's playing right or left guard right now. He's going to have to deal with the offensive coach when he gets out of, jail for the DUI he just got, because for some odd reason we can't go no season without somebody getting the DUI. Fun fact.
For real.
I'm more like, a lot of people get hyped about the offseason, but I'm so hyped about training camp. I'm so hyped about OTAs, because it's like, is Elijah Vera Tucker going to have to fight for that position? Or are we just going to see what side he's going to be on? He's still going to be a starter, but like, is he going to be a right guard? Is he going to be a left guard? Right. Then you have the battle at tackle. The battle at tackle to me is key to the whole season, because if Mekhi Becton comes back better than what we think he's going to come back as, which is pretty much what he was his rookie season, we may be looking at, a top 15, potentially top 10 offensive line, which fantastic. I love it. I'm still looking to see what JD can get for Denzel Mims, because I think everybody and their mother is out on Denzel Mims right now. I just don't think he doesn't have any trade value. That's the problem. I think in terms of the draft, I actually disagree with you, Paul. I don't think we're going to go offensive lineman in the first round. I think once we got Lincoln Tomlinson, and I'm just hoping we can re-sign LDT, so that we have a swing guard on the inside along with the swing tackles that we have. I actually think, personally, I think that we're going to go edge at 4, regardless. We're either going to go edge or trade out. And I think there's a chance that we're either going to choose between, best DB available at 10, possibly edge at 10, wide receiver, or interior defensive line, which don't be surprised if we end up taking Jordan Davis at 10. Don't be surprised.
That's the detail.
Don't be surprised, because the fact that we lost Foley and we have kind of a hole there where it's just Sheldon Rankins and we don't have any run defense, don't be surprised. It wouldn't surprise me. And Jordan Davis is showing that, like, he can be a 3-down guy, and he has some pass rush. So, like, and also, like, with the edge conversation, it's like everyone thinks it's KT or Hutch. Not for us. I don't think that that's the thing for us. I think Travon Walker is definitely in play, as much as nobody wants to admit it. Travon Walker is definitely in play at 4, and Jermaine Johnson's in play at 4. With the way he worked, I think Jermaine Johnson's in play at 4. I may be one of the few. Yeah. Because of the fact that he was like, the fact that he was in that Georgia locker room his first year before he had to transfer. Like, he couldn't make the field because of how much talent is there. That doesn't mean he's not talented. That just means that room is so freaking talented. So, like, it wouldn't surprise me if we took him at 4 and then took best player available at 10.
Yeah. He beasted from State.
Yeah, and I mean, I know everybody loves Garrett Wilson, and I get it because the man plays like he's 6'4", even though he's 6 foot. But at the end of the day, he's still 6 foot. You get what I'm saying? And we already kind of have a guy like that in Elijah Moore, which is why I'm not a fan of taking Garrett Wilson. I know a lot of people have him as wide receiver 1. I'm warming to the idea of Drake London for that reason. And for the reason that the only reason why I'm not big on Drake London right now is because we need a guy that can go over the top. And I think Elijah Moore has that in his game, but we need like a true burner so that it opens up the middle of the field for Elijah Moore, for Corey Davis, etc. So I think at 10, we definitely gonna be looking for a trade back to trade back and then take Chris Olave. Because the more I watch Chris Olave, like Chris Olave is not only fast, but he is also an excellent route runner, which is something that you don't see all the time. But in terms of like looking at like what the Jets' weaknesses were in the beginning, being guard, being tight end, being cornerback, being safety, we've pretty much plugged a lot of those holes. And the holes that we left open being free safety, wide receiver, interior defensive line, and edge are all positions that are deep as hell in this draft. So it wouldn't surprise me if those are the first 4 positions that we take in the draft. And that's kind of how, like, I don't think offensive line is that big of a need, but I also know that interior offensive line is also a very deep position. And Robert Saleh and his crew got to coach a lot of those interior offensive linemen that we didn't know anything about. That, like, even though, Joe, I will say the offensive line was getting fucked up in the Senior Bowl, there was some guys that were definitely winning one-on-ones that we didn't even know their names. So I think that just goes to show the amount of talent that there is on the interior line and the amount of upside a lot of those interior offensive linemen have. So it wouldn't surprise me if the Jets waited to the 4th round to take an offensive lineman now that they've plugged the hole, and that they can still bring one of their guys back to add depth to that position.
Oh, you just end it like that? Jesus. All right. Well,
I mean, what else do you want me to say? I mean, and yeah, we need a secondary running back. That was about it. That was the only one I forgot about. We need a bruiser. Like we need one of them thick boys. Which is why I said, a 4th for Saquon. The problem, no, here's the thing. Here's actually, now that I think about it, here's the reason why I wouldn't take Saquon is because Saquon, even though he does go around the side, he plays like he's 5'9" and like 160 pounds.
Yep.
Like we need a banger. Like we need somebody that's like, oh, you gonna hit me? You gonna hit me? Oh, come.
You want AJ Dillon? That's what you want.
Yes, essentially.
Yeah,
but I will settle for I will settle for Zach Wilson's old teammate Tyler Angler. I think his name is, from BYU.
Tyler Algier.
Algier, there we go. That's his name. I will. Yeah. I'm 100% behind that. Or
he's solid. You can get him
from Florida.
Who?
Damian Pierce from Florida.
Okay.
Jermaine Ford from Cincinnati. Those kind of. Jerome Ford. There we go. See, no, it was a J though. Got close.
Yeah. Being a Giants fan here, it's interesting time. We don't have a lot of cap space. Shane's doing what he can, what he's got. Honestly, I think
the cap doesn't exist. That's all I'm gonna say. The cap doesn't exist.
The problem is the problem is that he's trying to right the wrongs of Gettleman. As far as Gettleman kept kicking the can down the road, he kept putting future this, just move this, backload this, put this to next year, put it off. And that's what Shane's like. I'm not trying to do that. He has to for a couple of contracts, like 2 or 3, but like mostly all his deals aren't doing that. So like unfortunately, he's just the guy who has to really clean it up. So it's like he's got to do what he can do with what he's got, and that's why he's trying to blow everything up. And I understand it. It's going to leave holes left and right. So And for anybody that's a Giants fan watching this, we just signed the lineman, Jamil Douglas. He was a reserve lineman, played a couple games here and there. He was with the Bills, unsurprisingly, and with the Titans. So we just signed another depth piece. So I mean, he's already done what Gettleman he's done in one off season or one free agency period. What Gettleman said he was going to do in like 3 or 4 years, which is he's put in effort to the offensive line. Like he went out and signed the guy, this guy Matt Dano, who's a reserve swing tackle with the Falcons. He has some injury history, but he's like who's a second round pick, I believe, and he's been showing a lot of potential. But they have to just working on him still. Then he went out. He signed John Feliciano from the Bills, who's going to start center for us. He went out and he signed Matt Glowinski from the Seahawks and the Colts. He's going to start guard for us. We picked up this guy just now, Jamil Douglas, about 15 minutes ago. He's going to be a depth piece, but it was a 1-year deal. I think it's probably around the minimum. He's going to come in and try to battle for that other guard spot, honestly, because it's probably between Jamil, Ben Bredesen, Shane Lemieux, and they're probably going to draft somebody, which they need to. And then we still should get a right tackle. But he's already committed to rebuilding the offensive line. What he needs to do next, he needs to get another running back behind Saquon, or if he trades Saquon, he's get a running back. If he trades Saquon, he needs to get 2 running backs. But if he does keep Saquon for this year, you gotta get somebody under him. The receivers, I'm not too worried about. Again, they need to stay healthy is the problem. Is the problem. If you have Galladay, Tony, and Sterling, and they can stay healthy, you'll be okay. Tight end wise, is one thing that I'm looking at because we signed Ricky Seals Jones, but you need somebody else back. You need somebody else behind him. You need somebody. So I look to us. I know we were probably I think we were one of, if not the first team to talk to Trey McBride during the NFL Combine. I don't know if that means we're really interested in drafting him. Maybe we trade back somewhere from pick 7. I don't know. Defensively, we've needed edge rushers for a while, past couple of years. Interior, you need somebody next to the Dexter Lawrence, unless they move Cat inside full time and have him next to Dexter Lawrence, and then you still have to get an edge rusher opposite Azeez Ojulari. Linebackers, there's actually a rumor that we're bringing Jabril Peppers back. I don't know how much it's going to be. It's probably going to be a 1-year deal, so he can be healthy. Before we hopped on live, I saw it was between us, the Eagles, which is disrespectful, but us, the Eagles, and the Niners for Jabril Peppers. Yeah, if Jabril does that and goes to the Eagles, oh my God! Like every giant safety does that. Like Kenny Phillips did that. Like you got hurt. Like you got hurt. We're not going to sit here and put $40 million into you.
Why not?
Because we're not that stupid. Like we're stupid. We're not that stupid.
You're not the Brown stupid.
Exactly. We're not we're not that bad. Like so I'm sitting here like my main thing now is that we have help. We need help at almost every level. You have again, like I just addressed the D line. Your linebackers, you lost Lorenzo Carter, and he's still a free agent, and I haven't heard anything about him being brought back. You had Reggie Ragland step in, and he did a decent job, and now he's gone. Now you only have Tate Crowder, and you have Blake Martinez coming off a torn ACL. You have them in the middle. Secondary, you have $12 million potentially that you could open up sitting with James Bradbury. They're being patient, playing the waiting game, trying to get a 3rd or 4th round pick for the guy before the draft starts or on draft night. So right now you have Adoree, you have young corners. You have Adoree, you have Darnay, you have Aaron Robinson. So you have that. But those two, besides Adoree's number 2. Darnay and Aaron possibly could be another outside corner, but you want to try to get somebody else. So to me, it's like if you move Brad, you're almost more than likely that you're going to take Sauce at 5 if he's available. You'll take Sauce at 5 if he's available. He's number one corner in the draft. The kid's 6'2", 200 pounds. He moves like the way he moves is crazy, especially for his size. So I mean, you take him and you can put him in that corner secondary. I think you'd be good. The only other thing is you have to address your safeties because you're down Logan, you're down Jabril, so you're left with Julian Love and Xavier McKinney. Those are your only two safeties on the roster. So, I mean, I'm sitting here watching like everything unfold. You know, we signed 4 offensive linemen, we signed a tight end, we signed a backup quarterback who possibly could be taking Daniel Jones' spot and be a bridge quarterback to next year when we draft probably the eventual franchise quarterback. It'll probably be between Bryce Young and CJ Stroud, or maybe somebody else will step up. I don't know. The state of the Giants is a very interesting one. We just have to keep seeing. I'm just gonna go day by day and just see what these guys do. That's really it. Like, I don't know what else this guy can really do with the money he has. One other thing I did want to touch on, moving on from like our keys, was the quarterbacks that were pretty much going to get their jobs taken. We didn't touch too much on the whole aspect of Baker Mayfield and Matt Ryan. We talked a little bit about Baker. We didn't really talk too much about Matt Ryan. So my thing is, and it goes for both, is like I'll ask you guys, like with Baker Mayfield, okay, where do you see this guy going? Because I know, Paul, you put up pictures of like the Colts and possibly like the Seahawks. Where do you see Baker going, and what's the compensation that you see?
Knowing Baker and how sensitive he is, like he likes to play like with a chip on his shoulder. He wants to do all that stuff. He's gonna want to stay in the AFC. So my guess is he'll probably end up going to the Colts, and that'll be a good scenario for him to be in, because the AFC South literally is run by the Titans, but they're not a dominant team. You know what I mean? Because the way I see this is like, I know I joked around and said that the Titans are pretty much like a Porsche with a Zwigo Yugo engine and Ryan Tannehill, because they had the receivers and Derrick Henry. And I think the Colts with Baker Mayfield, I think they're a better team than with Wentz, because of Mayfield's ability to move around in the pocket and buy some time. I think that's the better option for him than going to Seattle. Now, what does the Colts have to give up to get him? I don't know. If the Browns are going to try and going to trade him to keep him in the AFC, I don't know. Because again, do you want to play against Baker Mayfield with a chip on his shoulder? So that's my thoughts on that.
Jay, what do you think about this whole Baker Mayfield situation?
I think it's gonna turn into a 3-team trade, personally. I think, as much as people think that Baker Mayfield to the Colts makes sense, I actually think Matt Ryan to the Colts makes more sense. Considering the cap space situation that they have, and they've literally spent no money.
Which I find very surprising.
Right.
I was also worried, like, if there was players going back in return, what players are going? Was Kyle Pitts an option? Who else was going out there? You know what I'm saying?
I don't know. But I think Baker to the Falcons makes sense. You know what I'm saying? I mean, listen, they said his value right now is a second-round pick to a third-round compensatory pick that could turn into a second. So I get it. Makes sense. Like a 2023 second-round pick for the Falcons should not be that big of a deal. They could keep their first-round pick, draft a receiver to pretty much replace Calvin Ridley, because you don't know what you get with him. And then you have Pitts there. Right.
I forgot about him.
You have a decent offensive lineup. And even if you want to if you want to build your offense around Pitts, and you want to, the problem is that they let Russell Gage go. So it's like, ugh, you kind of need to draft a receiver at this point. But they also need to rebuild that offensive line because Baker's not that much of a mover. But you can still do that in the deep draft. So I do believe that like it just kind of makes sense from especially Arthur Smith, who's used to dealing with a quarterback with limitations. I think that he could definitely he could make the best of a bad situation with Baker. And then you give him a 1-year prove it deal, right? Because he's going into the last year of his rookie deal. You give him a 1-year prove it deal. And it's like, listen, I understand you're pissed. I understand you're angry, but prove to us that you're the guy and that we shouldn't go get a guy in the draft next year. And Baker's gonna take that and he's gonna lead that team. And the Falcons, who everyone's kind of looking down on, could be a surprise team. Because again, and then you have Atlanta. And Atlanta is that kind of city where they even show with Trae Young, they like their midgets. So, you know, they can rally behind a team that everyone considers an underdog. So I honestly, I like Baker on the Falcons. And then I could see the Falcons making, like, say, another move to go and get Tyler Lockett, you know, if he's available. And I think that at that point makes them at least a formidable team. And I think Matt Ryan to the Colts gives them that veteran presence that they miss with Phillip Rivers, but it also gives them a guy that can sling it. Like, Matt Ryan is old and all, and we get it, but that man can still let it go, you know? And I think that he could do wonders for Michael Pittman. So I think that's how that one's going to go.
And the word on the street is that the Saints are bringing back Jameis Winston.
Yeah.
Yeah, I heard that too.
And that the Ryan Tannehill project is over. So I don't know exactly what that means. Like, is the man going to get
Taysom Hill?
Taysom Hill. So I mean, is the man going to get cut? Is he going to
He might get cut because remember, like, his contract was crazy. We were talking about it. It's a lot of money, but there was like always an option for them to get out easily. So
yeah, I don't know. I really don't know what they ever saw with the whole Taysom Hill thing. That still baffles me to this day. I really don't understand that. I mean, you guys know how I feel about Matt Ryan. I honestly, I've said it multiple times. I feel Matt Ryan was overrated. I really do. I think he just benefited from a big surrounding cast of characters. If he went to the Colts, I mean, yes, he'd have a good O-line. He'd have a great run game with Jonathan Taylor. They would have to replace some pieces, though. They brought back Mo Alley-Cox, I believe.
Yes.
Yeah, because Jack Doyle retired. They're going to have to get another tight end, and they're going to have to get another receiver too, opposite of Michael Pittman, which is going to be the interesting thing because I believe Zach Pascal and I believe T.Y. are both gone. So they're going to have to get somebody else on that side of the ball, somebody opposite Pittman and somebody that's going to work the slot. So they're going to have to get somebody to step in for Matt Ryan to help Matt Ryan if he were to go there.
The situation just kind of reminds me of Alex Smith when he went to Washington. Like, that's kind of how I see it.
I mean, he's an older quarterback, so it gives me like Phillip Rivers vibes. Like, he's an older quarterback, like he's not mobile, but he's going to be a great locker room guy, great veteran presence. You know, because they were saying the big thing with Carson Wentz was that like he had a bad attitude pretty much. He just didn't vibe with people. He just wasn't like good in the locker room presence, like things like that. And that's why they got rid of him. It was just like he just didn't fit our culture and our vibe, and he just wasn't good in the locker room. He wasn't good with people, and he had a bad attitude in practice. Like he just. So it's just what it is. I think Matt Ryan would step in and be the polar opposite of that. I think Matt Ryan steps in and he would make a lot of people better. Then he make a lot of people look better than they actually are, you know. But they have to bring people in because, again, especially if those other two receivers are gone, I can't name you the receiver across from Mike Pittman right now. I got obviously again, Jarvis Landry, Odell, people out there. There's the draft. The receiver class is deep, so they have time. but I can see Matt going to the Colts just off of that. I don't really see Baker on the Falcons. I don't see that. But again, I can only reason I can kind of see it is because the Falcons are in a bit of a rebuild right now, and they have a decent O line. They have some pieces on defense. They have Pitts, but that's it. I think they have. I think Zacchaeus is gone too, if I remember correctly. He might have resigned, but like they need weapons. Like if Baker's going to go down to Atlanta, he needs weapons. He needs somebody besides Pitts. He needs a better run game. He needs to work on the O line. They have to get 2 or 3 receivers out there. They have to get people for him if he were to go to Atlanta. Like I said, I don't see him going there, but if he were,
Yeah,
I
and
also
Patterson also, I think that's a free agent too. Cordell Patterson, they're like utility guy.
yeah, and they're not even bringing him back.
Crazy.
They're not bringing him back. Yeah, that guy literally did everything for them last year. Like literally did everything for him. Running back, receiver, and your man was asking to play safety. Like, I mean, just looking off like CBS Sports, like, because I always have them and I always have Spot Track up, but like, there's there's a lot of people up here that were still waiting to see where the dominoes fall. Like, we're still waiting to see where some of these people go, offensively and defensively. Like, does Julio go back to Atlanta? Like,
Ugh. Ugh. God, I hope
I
not.
mean,
God.
I mean, you got Julio.
Oh yeah, and
Bobby
DJ Moore just
Wagner. Huh?
got a 3-year extension. So DJ Moore just got a 3-year extension.
Oh, on the Panthers.
Mm-hmm. That's another team that's actually interesting because they need a quarterback.
I mean,
They do not want to run it back with Sam. That is widely known.
no, of course not. No, of course not. My thing is, the Falcons aren't going to trade Matt Ryan in division.
And
no, I'm not talking about Matt Ryan.
Like,
I think they said CMC is available too.
Baker?
Yes.
I guess. I don't know.
Bro, oh my gosh.
With Sammy as his backup.
Yo, can you believe?
No.
Wait, can you believe if the Browns figure out a way to trade Baker Mayfield for CMC?
Oh.
No, it doesn't work.
It doesn't work. I know it doesn't work,
That
but
is
I'm saying
disrespectful.
I'm just playing Madden rules. If the Panthers if the Browns find a way,
the Browns have 2 great running backs and one solid one. And where's CMC fitting this offense unless you move a man to the slot full time?
Yeah. Okay. Remember this. How many times have both Chubb and Hunt were healthy to play all the games?
And then when they weren't, Darius Johnson stepped up and went crazy.
I know. But if you have CMC in there, CMC has had health issues for the last 2 seasons.
Exactly. And you also have to take on CMC's contract.
But you got to think, CMC has been pretty much a workhorse. I think that was the one team that was still depending on one running back.
You know what's crazy? There's still a guy that we're not even accounting for in this quarterback carousel. It's Jimmy Garoppolo.
Oh yeah. But here's the thing though.
Jimmy Garoppolo.
The Niners are like, we're not gonna just give him away. We want a good trade. Because they're not in a hurry to get rid of him.
Get a good trade for him though. Like that's the thing. Is they value Jimmy Garoppolo more than anybody else values Jimmy Garoppolo. And that's evident. Like, you already knew he wasn't your future, so you went and got a quarterback and then expect somebody else to be like, yo, he's my future. Like, what? And then boy turns around and gets a shoulder surgery on his non-throwing shoulder. Mm-hmm. Luckily, it's his non-throwing shoulder, but like, you think somebody gonna want him now? And then you talking about, I'm gonna wait for a good trade for a guy that just got shoulder surgery? Come on, bro. Stop it. You might as well just let Seattle give you that 3rd round pick and keep it pushing.
Hmm.
Like, come on, bro.
That I'm really waiting to see. Like, it's like what are the Niners or what are people waiting for with the whole Jimmy Garoppolo thing? Because like Jimmy's
Like,
better than
how good a deal do you think you're gonna get?
yeah, like for
Especially
real, for real.
with quarterbacks that we didn't expect to get extensions, getting extensions. Like, I would have been like, yo, Minnesota's right in the conversation to go out and get one of these quarterbacks. Nope, they give Kirk Cousins another $35 million. And it's like, all right, so I guess the Vikings are good. Like,
I don't understand that. I just don't understand that.
Like that organization is I mean,
as
plus side, diversity. They just hired a black GM, so I'ma just let homeboy rock. But he's also a Wall Street guy. So I'm looking at you like, bro, you betting on the futures right now, heavy right now, bro. I don't know what I don't know what type of time you on, but
That's a lot of money for a decent quarterback.
You know, and
I
then
was
there's
never
still
swayed
this
by him.
whole like I constantly think about like there's this whole Jalen Hurts thing where it's like, do you like him? Do you not like him? Like Jalen Hurts feels like the high school girlfriend where like you're looking at these two kids and it's like, yo, do they like each other? Like, I are they together? Like, is this a thing? Like, are they going out or are they just like screwing with each other until the other one finds a better person? Like, what is going on with that? Because it all signs would point to like Jalen Hurts has been good for them. Jalen Hurts has made them competitive. Jalen Hurts hasn't lost them games. But every time you turn around, whenever there's more or less, he hasn't lost them. Like, it's not like, okay, the rest of the team is playing well and he's just shit the bed. You know what I'm saying? He hasn't won them games at all. I'm not saying that, but it's also a situation where it's like every time there's a top flight quarterback in play and every other team with young quarterbacks are like, nah, I'm good. The Eagles are always like, we'll see what we can do with this. And it's like, damn, like, what else do y'all want? Y'all traded Carson Wentz thinking that this dude was the guy. Now you ready to trade him for somebody else? It don't make no sense. It don't make dollars of sense to me, bro.
Yeah, I'm right with you. I'm right with you. I'm right
and then
with
they
you.
sitting on 3 first-round picks. So like, bro, are low key could they be a team to take a quarterback? Like, you have to ask the question at this point. I don't think it's likely, but you gotta ask the question if they always trying to get rid of Jalen Hurts.
Hey, the next one, Paul. Hey.
Next one and the next one. Okay, that's an interesting night.
I'll take that.
I'll take it. Like, hey, look, I'll take it. But
Spencer Dinwiddie killed us that game-winning shot of the night. I was like, damn.
That was raw.
Yeah, that one hurt. Especially since my boy Dinwiddie. That one hurt.
I know. He called it too. Like, give me the ball. I was like, golly, bro, really? Shit. Let it go. You wanted too much money, bro. And you're coming off an ACL injury.
Oh, the Lakers won.
Who did they play?
Raptors.
They beat the Raptors.
They beat the Raptors in OT. Your boy Scotty Barnes had 31 points and 17 boards.
Scotty Barnes is balling, bro. I wouldn't be surprised if he wins Rookie of the Year.
No, it wouldn't surprise me at all.
Yeah, he's killing it. He really is. I don't know.
The Lakers are clinging to that 8th spot, that 9th spot. Literally. They got 30 games won. New Orleans is behind them with 28. And San Antonio is like on the doorstep with 27.
Well, they just went into overtime, so.
Like I said, they already won. 128, 123. They won by 5.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. All right, fellas.
Yep.
Oh, oh, damn.
What happened? You dropping some breaking news?
Yeah. Unfortunately, it's sad news in the sports world, more football world. John Clayton passed away today at a Seattle area hospital.
Right. Oh yeah, I read that. I just read that too.
Yeah, his wife Pat and sister Amy were at his side and communicated earlier he passed peacefully after a brief illness. Damn.
Yeah. I read that on Twitter like 5 minutes ago.
Yeah, Chris
Yeah.
Morrison just tweeted it.
John Clayton was the man.
Yeah, it was.
He had that commercial. You don't know him, Jay? Nah, I can tell. He had that. He had the commercial where he was sitting there and he had like the suit up top, and he had like a little regular older Caucasian male head haircut, hair is kind of receding, and he took the old John Clayton ESPN, and they cut it, and he was like in his bedroom and he ripped off like the little fake suit top, and he had like this heavy metal shirt on, and he had like his hair tied up and he let his hair down, and he was like laying at home and just like bent like this blast like heavy metal. He's like, "Hey mom, just finish my segment." Like this is like this eating laying in bed. John Clayton was the man.
Yeah, he was like before Chef, he was John Clayton.
Yeah.
I'm seeing a
I put
picture.
that. Huh?
Doesn't ring a bell.
It's all good.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hate to end it on sad news,
Yeah.
but
That's
John Clayton was one of the guys that I remember watching growing up. So
yeah, definitely. But that's gonna do it for us.
Cleveland, don't hate me. I'm sorry.
Listen, everybody hate Cleveland right now. Listen, if anything, we've been being nice because we ain't even mentioned all the other stuff. Apparently, again, once you're accused of something, you're guilty, and apparently in the court of public opinion.
Yeah, and don't forget,
ain't nobody ever lie on a football player before.
And don't forget, even though he could be innocent on civil and criminal charges, the NFL could still suspend him for some bullshit.
Listen, I meant to say that when Joe said it. Don't be surprised if he gets suspended like 3 games. Everybody's expecting him to get like Calvin Ridley. And I'm like, bro, he's gonna get like 2 games, 3 games. People are gonna be more upset about the fact that he's gonna get suspended, not a lot of games, and then they are that he got traded and got paid. Because let's keep it real, the only reason why he's in Cleveland, I've been to Cleveland.
It's the money. It's the money.
You told me I'm getting $230 million guaranteed over the next 5 years. I moved to Cleveland.
It's like I said.
I moved to Cleveland with a Kool-Aid smile and a stick and my belongings tied up at the end of the stick with a little cloth. Like I'm bringing jeans, sneakers, and that's it. Buying everything.
It's like I said, Cleveland
is $230 million.
They happy they got him
in Cleveland.
Yeah, I was like, Cleveland's happy they got him, but they don't realize it's like they were like the third option. They're like, well, yeah,
I don't give a damn whether I'm the third option.
What you'll do. You know what I'm saying?
Let one of my top 5s choose me. Even if I'm the 8th choice, you still chose me, so we good.
Oh, but that's only because other ones like didn't select you. That's the thing, though.
Still mine.
But that's the thing, though. Like that's what I'm saying, though. I would say like there's a reason why Atlanta. There's got to be a reason why Atlanta and New Orleans were like, we're not giving that guarantee. There's something
because they know he's gonna. They know he's probably gonna catch suspension. Because again, people tend to think too short term. This trade is about the next 10 years, not the next 2.
Yeah,
I don't give a damn what happened in the next 2 years. Joel Embiid took 3 years to get on the court. Now the Sixers are a perennial, finals contender.
And think about this: you're losing 3 first-round picks. 3.
Mm-hmm.
It don't matter where you end up.
And again, Cleveland was already good enough where they would only be a low teens to low 20s team anyway. So they would probably end up trading that pick for someone they would probably get better talent signing someone than they would drafting someone anyway.
Mm-hmm.
So them losing a first round pick isn't that big of a loss, honestly, because again, the especially in this year's draft, the talent is deep, so they can go out and get a guy that's going to get pushed down, right? Next year, it's going to be all about the quarterback. So again, talent is going to get pushed down. The year after that, we don't know.
Yeah. So
By that point, they could trade somebody else and recoup the first round pick for all we know.
Mhm.
Like they could trade Denzel Ward. Like we really don't know.
Yep.
That's why I'm like, it makes sense, and everybody, yeah, nobody willingly goes to Cleveland. Like hell, LeBron even left, came back and left again. Ain't nobody trying to stay there. But you get somebody, you weigh $230 million guaranteed in front of somebody's face. Listen, I go to Siberia for all that matters. As long as I'm in as long as you give me a nice warm house with $230 million, bro, I'm straight. I'm good. It may be quiet, I may be bored, but I'm $230 million and bored. I'm good. I can get a private plane out of Cleveland. Cleveland ain't but half an hour outside of New York. Shit. Kevin Love live in New York and still play in Cleveland. Like, come on, bro. That's a commute on the train in the city. That ain't nothing but a word, bro.
Yeah. Take us out, Joe.
All right, man. Well, another day's in the books. It was for a wild first 5 days, I guess, to a week of free agency. Trades crazy, signings crazy. Again, we still have a lot of dominoes still left to fall. Like I said, Tyrann Mathieu, Taron Armstead, amongst many others, Bobby Wagner. We'll be monitoring everything, posting when we can, what we can, getting more content to you guys daily. So, smash the like button, follow us on Twitter, follow us on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, all that. Nosebleed section, Heel Heat will have basketball content coming soon too.
Eventually.
Yeah, whenever Jay decides to start doing basketball content.
Eventually.
Oh, playoffs.
We'll have
Playoffs.
basketball content.
Eventually.
Playoffs.
This is what we have to work with. Ridiculous. Anyways, enjoy your Friday, guys. Stay tuned. We got a lot more coming up. Like I said, we have the draft coming up. USFL's coming up. We'll be covering a lot. Thanks for watching as always. Have a good night. Enjoy your Friday. Enjoy your weekend. Stay safe. Stay healthy. Have a beer if you drink. If not, okay. I'll have one for you. But until next time, guys. Until next time. Paul, take me out. Take me out, Paul. I'm still alive and I don't like it. End it. Paul cut the feed. Paul cut himself. We're still alive. What's he doing? Unbelievable.